So I've been lifting weights for almost 10 years at this point, and after having tried every workout routine under the sun, after making every mistake in the book, I realized, and is my belief, that most people have no clue what actually matters when it comes to building muscle. So in this video, I want to explain the one thing that actually matters, because it's not volume, it's not even like consistency, it's not, these magical supplements, creatine, etc. It's just one thing. Now, just for some context, as you can see, this was my starting point when I started, and I was able to transform myself into from this with terrible genetics. So you can bet your money that the one tip that I'm going to give you today is going to help you regardless of how good or bad your genetics are. And this is the thing, the mistake that most people make is they think that they join the gym and they start working out and they even see some progress, so they're happy, and they think that, I'll just be able to go to the gym forever and I'll just always get results. But they don't actually understand what's happening in their body. Like, they have no clue, and I'm going to explain right now. People start training, they make some good progress because newbie gains are a real thing. It happened to me. It probably happened to you if you've been training for a while. But people don't understand that it's not just about them going to the gym and lifting weights and building muscle. The thing that builds muscle and what actually makes fitness very simple to understand is progression. People make the mistake of, lifting too heavy weights, being ego lifting, and then not being able to sustain every weight jump, big jumps week to week. And eventually they either injure themselves, number one, or number two, they can't progress. They get disheartened, they get sad, and then they eventually quit, which is not what we want to do. And I'm telling you, using something like microplates, for example, microplates are those plates where you add literally 2.5 pounds or even as low as like 1 pound of weight on like each side of the bar. That could literally be the difference between you building muscle for years to come and not. Like, bro, this is what I do, right? For my exercises, I literally will progress by adding like 1 kilogram or 2.2 pounds to the exercise. Instead of jumping like 10 pounds per exercise, for example, for biceps, if I'm on a machine, instead of jumping from, I don't know, 70 pounds to 75 or from 80, 85, whatever the case may be, I go from 70 to 72.2. So that I'm not ego lifting. And this is the reason why I've been able to build such a good physique with these genetics. With terrible genetics. The reason for it is literally just because I've been able to progress for almost 10 years now. 10 years, that's pretty impressive, isn't it? I've been able to progress simply because I haven't added too much weight too soon. Because every time I did that, bro, I am telling you, I wasn't able to sustain it. Like, I would progress pretty quickly, but then I hit a plateau where I couldn't go heavier. If I did go heavier, it would just like hurt my joints, my ligaments, and my wrist and shit. So I had to lower the weight and go back again. But then when I changed my approach from just making jumps by like 10 pounds each workout, and I started using micro plates, micro weights, and I added 2.2 pounds, everything changed for me. And I immediately saw progress in my physique again. Even as an advanced lifter, this is the interesting part. Even as an advanced lifter, I saw the progress again. And I've really noticed that people drastically underestimate how much progress you can make in like 6 months, a year, if you do progressive overload properly. Because the mistake that most people make is they pick a weight, they can do it pretty well, then the next week they increase it by a fuck ton, like too much. They're basically too strong for their own good. In reality, they're not too strong. But they think they are, and then so they increase the weight by too much, and then they can't progress. And you can progress in a plethora of ways, either by weight, so what I said earlier, by micro plates, this is the best way, by reps, by slowing down your tempo, even sometimes changing the exercises, right? Or like switching like positions. Those are all progressive overload methods. So let me give you an example. Like, for example, right now I'm doing rope push downs, right? For triceps, I'm doing like 2 sets, and I'm doing 12 reps and then 13 reps with like, let's just say, to make it easy, 120 pounds and then 115 pounds, right? So these are the reps, and this is my weight. This is roughly what I've done like this week or last week. Typically, what I would have done in the past when I wasn't as smart, when I didn't know this, that progressive overload and the micro progressive overload is actually the secret to like building muscle long term, is I would just jump from like 120 to 130, 135, 140 like every week in 7 days, which is too much. Like, you can't, especially as a natural lifter, I can't progress too much, right? And you can't if you're natural progress either. If you're on steroids, PEDs, whatever, yeah, sure, you can progress like an animal, right? But for all of us natural dudes, you will just have to progress by like a little bit. So like next week, I'll probably like either increase the reps to like from 12 to 13 to 13 and 14. And then after that, I'll probably up the weight and I'll probably go to like, I don't know, 122.5 pounds or like, 123, maybe 125. But it's probably going to be this one, the first one, 122.5. Because this progression week to week from this, from 120 to 122.5, and then the week after that maybe to this, and then the week after that to this, and then maybe to like 127, 130. In a month, I will have jumped roughly from 120 to like 130 by 10 pounds. And I will actually get stronger at the same rate. So the actual indicator of building muscle is simply, are you getting stronger? That's like the number one indicator and signal for natural lifters if you are actually building muscle or not. So this is the secret. Let me write this down, micro progression. It's micro progression, not macro. You would think, oh, like the faster I progress in weight, the more gains I'm gonna get. No, you can just injure yourself and you will get to a point where you can't lift any heavier, and then like that can fuck up with your mental health as well, or like with your mind, because if you're used to progressing at a certain rate and then you can't progress any further, like as a man we want to progress constantly, and when you can't, that can really play tricks on you, man. Now, let's say that right here, right next week, I will be able to do, let's say I'm stronger, maybe I slept more, and I would be able to do like 2 sets instead of 13 and 14 by increasing reps by 1 rep each set. Maybe I could do 15 and 16. I will either do that, or I will be like, you know what? I'll just stay at 13 to 14, because 1 rep is still progression. That will still build a small amount of muscle in me, right? So I can either do that, or I can just go up by 3 reps, but then I risk kinda stalling a little bit of my progress. So you can do either method. You can just do by 1 rep, or if you feel stronger, you can do more, but just know that you will not be able to sustain this pace probably forever, because that's been my experience as well. So this is the actual secret to building muscle forever. It's really this simple. You just gotta micro progress over months and years. That's it. Like it's literally that simple. There's no fucking magical supplement, no perfect workout split, no perfect, scientifically engineered amount of volume that you can do. If you just stick with training hard, doing like decent amount of sets, and then training hard while micro progressing, you will get your dream physique. I promise you, faster than you can ever imagine. Okay? If you enjoyed this video, then you'll probably enjoy the video that just popped on the screen, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye. Mwah.